Hey guys, and welcome back to the Bartender Hideout. As you can see, I have three beautiful cocktails sitting here. They're all whiskey cocktails. They're all super easy to make, especially during lockdown. At least here we're back in lockdown. I think all around the world people are having this problem. I figured I'd show you guys how to make three easy whiskey cocktails where you don't need a lot of ingredients or you don't really need to break the bank to make these. So let's get into it. So let's get started with the old fashioned. As you guys might have seen in one of the episodes for the cocktail countdown, super easy to make already, but I'm still going to be showing you how to do this. Let's see, we're gonna start off. I'm gonna put a napkin on top, and then I'm gonna add a Demerara sugar cube. Add a little bit of Angostura bitters to it, about a couple dashes, just so it soaks in nicely. And then I'm just gonna drop that in, just to make sure that we don't overdo it with the Angostura too much. After that, we can add our most important ingredients. We can add the whiskey, which is going to be bourbon, bullet bourbon, and that is going to be 2 ounces of that. That is most of our ingredients already in there. So then I'm just going to need my muddler, and we're going to make sure that we muddle the sugar cube, so we can actually let it dilute, or that it dilutes nicely once we start stirring it with ice. And it kind of blends in there. Okay, so now we just need some ice. I'll be back in a sec. There we go, all topped up. And then it's time to do some stirring. So we are going to be stirring this for, well, up to however diluted you like your old fashioned. Normally you kind of try to taste in between to see if you want it any more diluted. If you want it a little bit stronger, then you stir any less. So I think that's the main thing with a good old fashioned, like have it your way. So we're gonna have a little taste there. Can do a little bit more dilution, so a bit more stirring. Okay, let's have a try again. That seems about right. Okay, once we're done with that, we can take our glass, add some ice again. There we go. Transfer it from our mixing glass into our drinking glass. There we go. And no good cocktail is complete without a garnish. So we will be garnishing with a nice orange peel. There we go. Trim it a little on the sides. Make it look nice. There we go. And then express the oils over the drink as well. And there we go. That's our old fashioned. So the next cocktail we are going to be looking at is going to be the whiskey sour. This is, as you guys might have seen, this is one of my personal favorites. Anything regarding whiskey always does well anyway, but besides from that, this is normally the one that if they ask me which is your favorite, I'm going to come down to the whiskey sour. So I have all my ingredients here, so let's get into it. We are going to start off with some egg white. So you can use store-bought egg white as well if you want, but in general a fresh egg white just does better. So I end up using a fresh egg. Just yep, there we go. Then so egg white's in here. Then next I'm gonna be using some lemon juice. So we want 30 milliliters of lemon juice. So that should be all fine with just one lemon. Go. Good squeeze. And as I said, we want about 30 milliliters of lemon juice. So just normally it's like a little bit more than half a lemon. Here we go, that should be enough. Pour that all in there. So So then we are going to be using our sugar syrup. So I will be using 15 milliliters of that. This is on a 1-to-1 ratio, so if you're making your own sugar syrup at home, that might be something to keep in mind. And after that, we will be going to the main star of the show, and that's the Bulleit Bourbon. This is just a really beautiful bourbon for most cocktails. Actually, you can use this in pretty much everything. So we'll be using 60 mils or 2 ounces of that one. And lastly, I always like to add a little bit of my own touch by adding some Angostura bitters. So I tend to do 2 dashes of that. Just gives a little bit of extra flavor to that one. Okay, so it's time to get shaking. I'll be right back to you. Okay, so we got our ice in our shaker. As you guys might know, with egg white, we want to shake it twice. So I'm going to be doing a reverse dry shake, as they call it. I'm going to be shaking with ice first, then afterwards I'm going to be shaking without ice, just to make sure that we get a nice and frothy layer on our whiskey sour. Here we go, that should be a good start already. You don't have to be shaking for super long as you do it well, I guess. Then we will be taking out the ice. There we go, that's already looks pretty good to me. Take out the ice. And then we're going to be shaking it again. There we go. Give it. That should be all done. Then I need a couple ice cubes, and let's add that to our cocktail. There we go. And then once it all settles down, you should see a nice little layer of froth on there. That just makes the whiskey sour as distinctive as it normally is. And to top it all off, we're going to garnish with dehydrated lemon. You could just use like a lemon wedge if you don't have dehydrated lemons at home, obviously. This always just looks a little bit nicer to me. And yeah, there you go, guys. That's our whiskey sour. And I guess we're going on to the number 3 cocktail. And then we are on to the final easy whiskey cocktail. Again, only 3 ingredients, so the keyword here is easy. And this is going to be the classic Manhattan. And as you might have seen, I've already had an episode on the cocktail countdown as well. Make sure to check that one out after this episode. So we are going to start off with our whiskey. I'm actually using a rye whiskey. You can use whatever rye you have laying around. I ended up using Bulleit rye since this is what I have laying around. Then we're going to add 2 ounces or 60 milliliters of rye whiskey. With a little bit of spillage. And then we are adding our sweet vermouth. I have an Antica formula at this time. Again, it's kind of the same. You can use whatever sweet vermouth, whatever rye you find, whatever floats your boat in a way, and whatever makes you the best Manhattan. But I just end up using these because I think these ingredients are just really nice. End up using 30 mils or 1 ounce. And then lastly, I will be using Angostura again. Angostura, we will be using 2 dashes. So again, only 3 ingredients, super easy. And I already chilled my coupe glass, so I don't have to do that in the meantime. You can do it in the fridge, you can do it with some extra ice, whatever you have handy to make sure that glass is nice and cool as well in the end. Okay, let's fill this one back up again. There we go. Nice and full. And let's get some stirring again. So this is pretty similar to an old-fashioned. We just end up using a different glass, and obviously some of the ingredients are completely different as well, but the technique of making this is pretty similar, at least. So just like that one. You can stir it as long as you want, just how diluted you want it, how strong you want it. I just tend to have mine like right in the middle. I think that's the balance where you want to be. You don't want to have it too diluted, you don't want to have it too strong. And I always try to feel as well when the drink is nice and cold. That always helps quite good as well. Okay, good. Then I'm gonna throw out the ice, and I will use my trusty julep strainer again to pour our drink. Look at that color, that's so good. Okay, this can go. And then again, as a garnish, I will be using orange peel. And you can also use like an Amarena cherry, which is used a lot. But since we were going for easy, I think orange peel is something that people have laying around a little bit more than that they have Amarena cherries. So that's why we're going with the orange peel. Just cut off a little bit of the excess here, make it look nice as well. And there we go. Make it look good, and there we go. That's our Manhattan, guys. So there you have it, guys. 3 easy to make cocktails. Make sure to try them out yourself. If you're stuck at home and you have nothing to do but drink, make sure to check these ones out. Apart from that, make sure to check in on all of our other cocktails. We're going to be making a few more of these episodes. We'll be looking into some other spirits at least, and yeah, make sure to check those ones out as well. Make sure to leave a comment, like and subscribe if you love what we do, and otherwise I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.